Why is it important to bring the voices of people from Latin America into the debate in the United States?
Well, the United States has a long history of intervening in Latin America.
What our government does, what U.S. corporations do, what institutions like the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund do, has a huge impact on other people in the world, particularly on our neighbors in Latin America.
The United States makes policies that affect our lives in our countries, like war on drugs, immigration, free trade agreements that privatize our natural resources, imposing on us new models of development.
These have had dangerous, if not deadly, consequences.
My name's Jim Schultz. I'm from California. I love my country, but for 10 years I've lived in Latin America and I've watched how the United States damages the lives of the people who live here, sometimes in ways that people in the United States don't even realize. I was here in Bolivia in 2000 when an institution controlled by the United States, the World Bank, forced the people of this city to hand over their water system to Bechtel, a corporation from the United States. People died to take back their public water. I've also watched for years as the U.S. war on drugs has put people in jail here, innocent people, all in the name of just creating arrest statistics for the U.S. Embassy to send to Washington. I believe in voices because I believe that people in the United States need to hear directly from the people whose lives that are being affected here. Because I think if we in the United States understand what we're doing in Latin America, we can change U.S. policy and make the United States a more moral nation in the world.
These interventions don't only harm Latin America, they affect us too.
The U.S. spends billions of dollars annually in interventions around the world, often for political and economic gain.
Instead, why don't we use our tax dollars for better things? Education, health, investments in quality of life. Let's listen, learn more about our impact, and take action. It's time we use our power as citizens to influence what our government does.
Let's use that power by listening to each other and changing the idea that other countries know what's best for Latin Americans.
Together we can strategically influence the decisions that affect us both.
How can you get involved? It's easy. You don't even have to get up from your computer. Just watch some of the stories our Latin American friends have shared with us about how the U.S. government, corporations, and financial institutions have shaped their lives.
Nuestra petición al gobierno de los Estados Unidos es cambiar su política intervencionista en nuestros países, un respeto a la autonomía, un respeto a la posibilidad de decidir como pueblos salvadoreños. En nuestro caso particular hemos tenido resultados nefastos de esta política de intervención en los asuntos internos de nuestro país, concretamente en el tema migratorio, y luego ahora impulsando a través de los organismos financieros multilaterales procesos de privatización que han generado una gran exclusión en la población en relación al acceso a servicios públicos fundamentales.
Once you have the stories, then it's time to take action. Between now and November 4th, help shape the candidates' positions on these important issues. When a candidate, presidential or congressional, comes to your town to talk with voters, use your voice to lift up the voices of people in Latin America. Here's one example.
In the New Hampshire primary, I asked Senator Hillary Clinton about our impact on Latin America.
Senator, I lived in Bolivia for 4 years. I was there in 2005 when Evo Morales was elected president by the largest landslide in Bolivia's history. When I know that my tax dollars are used to attack and destabilize democracy in Bolivia, I am disgusted. You say you'll end cowboy diplomacy, but Democrats and Republicans on Latin American policy have always been cowboys. How can I say to my Bolivian brothers and sisters that you will be different?
Our work doesn't end with the election. After November 4th, we need to continue to build the movement by reaching out to family, friends, and neighbors to raise awareness about what the U.S. is doing in Latin America. More and more of us are realizing the impact the U.S. has on the rest of the world. This is a powerful and crucial moment for all of us. Help us spread it and build the grassroots power necessary to hold policymakers accountable. Over the last 10 years, citizens in the United States and Latin America have seen our governments sign agreements. We have seen corporations make the rules that now govern our globalized economy. But we, the citizens who believe in social justice, fairness, equality of people from all over the globe, can now come together to exchange ideas and put pressure on our lawmakers. People to people from one country to another, we're building those bridges and making those connections. Together, we will make a stronger statement. Pledge now to work with Latin Americans to influence the decisions of the next administration.
If there's one lesson that the United States can learn from the disaster in Iraq, it's that we as a people need to be a lot more careful about our foreign policy.
It's that we need to listen to the people whose lives our policies affect.
We need to be informed.
So that we need to take power into our own hands and hold our elected officials accountable for their actions.
It's our moment in history. We have an opening.
We have a chance to fundamentally shift the direction of U.S. policy through our own actions.
Let's act now.
Please pledge to carry voices of people from Latin America into the foreign policy debate in the United States.